Alright, so you got no power, you have no electricity, no food, no water, and you're freezing cold in your home. Well, today we're going to give you a solution to one of those problems, and today I'm going to show you the Mr. Heater Little Buddy. Alright everybody, welcome back. So, recent weather events in Texas, blackouts, hazardous roads, just overwhelming weather. It's a perfect example why people need to prep and have redundancy in those preps. Once again, we see the justification for having your own power, backup means to cook, heat, food, water, things that don't need refrigeration. Today we're going to focus on a really good affordable item on one of those topics, and that's getting yourself warmed up with some heat. Now what we have here is the Mr. Heater Little Buddy, and I've used Mr. Heater products for years. I'm going to show you another one that I've used for quite a while. And this little one here is a 3800 BTU radiant propane heater. It will warm up your immediate area or a smaller room that you're in. Uses the 1 pound disposable propane cylinders. Gives off about 5.5 hours of continuous heat. I haven't had this one as long as I've had my other, but that seems about right. It's 5 to 6 hours depending just on conditions and how full your can is and what can you're using. I will make a comment about the propane canisters. I find the Coleman's fit in this base best. You'll see why that's important later. But I do find that they fit in this base really, really well. There's no rotation or moving around or anything. Some of the off-brand propane canisters won't fit as well. They'll still work, but they won't fit as well. Not really a big issue, but you don't want it falling over or falling out. So that's just my comment on it. It is an indoor safe propane heater. It heats up to 100 square feet, has 25% greater heat than the largest catalytic heater you'll find, and it uses these guys right here to do that. So it's a radiant propane heater, indoor safe design. It's got a tip over safety that will shut it off, and I'll show you how that works once we're done. It also has an automatic low oxygen shutoff system as well. Just like all the other Mr. Buddy products, they all have that thing in them where if it gets to be the carbon monoxide level is too high, they will shut off. However, just as a comment, to keep safe, it's always good to have a carbon monoxide detector nearby, and I actually have one out here. We actually saw me install that when I did it a couple weeks ago, and a fire extinguisher nearby. So, being that I do a lot of fire stuff out here, I always have that nearby anyway. So you got something that's easy to carry, easy to store, quiet, clean, and it's got odor-free operation. You got a nice heavy-duty wire guard here, so nobody's going to accidentally, get in there with anything. And I would recommend this for emergency heat for your home with ventilation, campers, workshops, job sites. I've used this out here a few times because let me tell you, even though you can't tell out here, it's cold out here right now. And it's kind of handy for that kind of thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to demo this. I'm going to set it up for you and show you how it works. Now this is a brand new canister because I didn't want to take a chance with one running out in the middle and it looking like it doesn't work. This is a brand new canister of Coleman fuel. And I'm going to show you how it works. So let me kind of move everything back here, set it up for you, and we'll show you how it works. I did forget to show you one thing, and that's my other Mr. Heater. You guys are probably more familiar with this guy right here. I have had this since probably 2000, 2001. It is an absolute awesome heater. I've used it tons of times in this home and my other where I lived previously. This thing is just great. So I have a lot of confidence in these products. I've used them for a long, long time. That one I probably had about 6 months. Used it a couple times and it works great. So another neat thing with this really quick, and I did a video on this and I'll lift up the camera a little so you can see. You get one of those paint things for buckets. You know, the paint roller for buckets. You stick it in a bucket to drain off the extra paint. And you bend it in this manner. And you can sit it up here. Let me pick you up. And you can put a pot right up here. So you can actually cook. I've actually made coffee. I did a video, God, I want to say 2014, where I actually used this heater with this piece right here to boil some water for coffee. So it does work very, very well. All right, let's get into the Little Buddy heater. All right, so your first step is going to be you're going to take the cap off of the old thing here. And you're going to line it up. Now, these are very hard to screw up, but you can cross-thread them. You see the connector on the bottom here for that. Generally, what I like to do is I keep it like this, unless it's hot. Now, if it's hot and you're changing this out hot, you don't want to keep this on a surface that will melt. Put it on tile, put it on a concrete floor, that's fine. but you don't want to stick it on some kind of carpet or rubberized surface like I have here if it was hot. So you're going to screw this in. At first it can be a little difficult, but it will screw in. There we go. It can be difficult to get on there for the first time with a new cartridge. I don't know why that is, but it seems to be just a quick little learning curve there. But you might want to make sure you're not cross-threading it either. It's very easy to have that situation where it's laying a certain way and you're kind of turning it. You think you have it straight, but you might have it a little crooked, and that's what was happening there. So let me back this up and back up the camera a little so you can see what's going on. Alright, so on the side you have this guy right here. This is your on button. You're going to push to ignite the pilot light on here, okay? You're going to hold it for 30 seconds after it's lit. So you want to watch the pilot light. Make sure your pilot light is on down in there. You'll see it. Again, I'll lift you up. You need a taller tripod. That's your pilot light. You'll see a little flame there. You're going to hold that for 30 seconds, even after the pilot light is lit. And you're going to let it run. This is your shutoff, okay? When you're done with the heater, you just simply push it in. You'll hear a little ding, and it'll shut off. It dings, it's a little metallic kind of ting in there or something that shuts off the power. So let's get it started. I'll push it here. I'm holding it. I do have a flame in there. I don't know if you can see the flame. Probably not. Now what I like to do is once that flame is going, okay? I haven't done this for 30 seconds, but let's make sure it's going. All right. Once that flame is going, I'm going to pick you up here. And I kind of just blow it up in there and get it going. So I'm going to show you what it looks like in the darkness because I still have a light on over this side. And I'll show you how well this works. Alright, so there you go. You see it going. It's going to warm up. All that will get really, really red. You can kind of start seeing over on this side. It's starting to get a little red. All that will get nice and red. A nice warm glow to it. I already feel the heat coming off it. So that's definitely a handy thing to have. I keep reading these stories of people stuck in their homes and using all these crazy methods and dangerous methods to heat their house. And then you got something like this that could do this for you in no time flat. You're really, really better off with something that's actually designed for it. So let me put the camera down, and I'll bring you back, and we'll test and see what kind of temperatures we're getting off this thing after a few minutes. Alright, so it is running. I know it doesn't look like it in the light, but it is running. I don't know if I can turn off the top light to show you. You can kind of see the orange glow there. There you go. You can kind of see the orange glow. It is running. It is throwing off some really, really nice heat right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a reading off the top here, top piece of metal, because it tends to, I'm watching the heat waves come off it kind of, and it tends to flow upwards like this. This is where it's hottest, right above the back here. Matter of fact, it's too hot to keep my hand there, so I'm not going to. But I'm going to take a reading of the heat that's coming off it. We might get an error code. I only think this goes up to like 600 degrees. But let's try it and see. Yeah, I don't know if you can see that, 585. So it's definitely putting out some nice heat, and it's so out of the way, not obtrusive, not obnoxious. There's not some huge flame coming out here. There's not tons of stink or kerosene smell coming off it. You just feel the heat, and it's definitely warming up right above. You can't see it. Let me show you. Right about here. It's almost too hot to keep my hand there. So it's definitely doing its job, and it's definitely radiating some good heat. I'm probably going to keep it running throughout the rest of this video because it's cold out here. But I could put this down on the floor, down on my floor here, and I could have it blowing up on me, and I would definitely feel the heat coming up to me, and it would definitely warm me up. So when you think about a situation where you're indoors, stuck inside with no heat, no water, nothing like that, something like this really starts to make sense. I would put this maybe, say, if you have a wood-burning fireplace and you're not burning wood in it, near it with a vent open. Of course, I'd be burning wood in my fireplace for warmth if I had to. But any kind of place where there's a little bit of vent, maybe a place where there's a little window cracked open, whatever. Again, it's made to be used indoors, and it will shut off in a low O2 environment. So when the oxygen gets too low, it will shut off. One of the things I'm going to demonstrate right now, and I got to turn off the lights for it again, is the fact that when you tip this over, it will shut off. I think you can see the red already on it, but I want you to see the flame turn off. Okay, so here we go, right? Got it here. I'm going to turn it sideways. There you go. Off. Is it still hot? Yeah, it's still hot. but it turns itself off. So that is a really handy feature. Really like that a lot. The fact that you know that if somebody knocks it over, bumps into it, whatever, you may burn your carpet. You know, this may run into your carpet or burn your wood floor or whatever, but it won't set your house on fire. It won't keep burning, and that's very, very important. I am going to hit the off button anyway, just to make sure it's sealed off. Now, when you get this, okay, I'm going to unscrew it and show you something. When you get this, you're going to have an odd little thing that might confuse you a little bit, and you might have just heard it there. You're going to hear something rattling around in it, okay? I don't want you guys to worry. There's a notice right on the front of the instructions. You know what? There's a notice right on the front of the instructions that said that is your shut-off valve. It's been redesigned. Actually, I'll get it out for you here. And it does come with a very good owner's manual, very thorough. Okay, improved performance of the tip-over safety switch inside your heater. You can now hear the operation of the tip switch when the unit is shaken, bounced, or tipped upside down. Do not worry. This is your tip switch operating as designed, okay? So, yes, you'll get it. First thing you do is take it out of the box and go, oh, wow, this is, uh-oh, what's broken? You know, it's not. That's a ball in there or some kind of, either a ball or a piece of plastic somewhere that shuts off the valve when it's turned over. So, I can tell you right now, that's still super, super hot up here. But not ridiculously hot. Then again, it is really cold out here. So that is definitely something that's very, very handy for a situation you could find yourself in, like we see going on in Texas right now. It won't put you in the kind of danger that, you know, trying to run some kind of heater inside your house that you've never run before, pouring kerosene in your living room into your heater, whatever. It won't put you in that kind of danger. And we already had some people, you know, get injured and killed because of not paying attention to what was going on. I do want to make a quick little side comment here. This is another thing I've seen from people. This is currently on sale at the link I'm going to give you down below. This is just the Rock Pals 300 watt unit. If you are without power, this is a lifesaver. This can charge radios, phones, whatever. I'm sure most of the phone lines there are down. But if you're a ham radio operator, if you use little FRS radios and you want to talk to your neighbor, whatever, if you want to run the TV for information, a unit like this is really invaluable. I just wanted to bring that up since we're talking about what's going on right now, and I will leave the link for this down below. This is probably one of the better units that I've seen for usually under $100 or maybe right at not under 100, under 200. Or right at $200. So definitely a good thing to have. But anyway, today's video is really about this guy here. And I gotta say I'm impressed. This will be used in regular rotation out here in my garage / studio. And we will definitely be using it out here a lot because there are some mornings where I come out here and go, it's way too cold to do a video. So that will definitely help with it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will put a link down below to this one. And let me get off the grate there. The larger Mr. Heater. I will put a link to that too if you're interested. Both of them work very, very well. The larger Mr. Heater puts off a little more heat. If you're in a smaller apartment, I'd recommend this. If you have a big area to heat up, I would recommend that. I've used that in my computer room, the larger one, and it heats up the whole area. Even though it's not sealed off, it heats up the whole area. Our house is very open concept here. You got the computer room, the living room, the kitchen. So it will heat up the area very, very well. I tried this in the computer room, and I always stick a slab or something underneath so it's more stable than just sticking it on the floor. And it really did work very well, but it only heated up my immediate area, and when I got up from my computer, it was still cold outside. So this is more for your own personal space or a very small room, but let me tell you something. I'm seeing homes in 30-degree weather out there, going down to 30 and 35 inside a house. This is a lifesaver then. This keeps you warm enough so you don't die, all right? Anyway, folks, like I said, I'll put the links down below for this, the other heater, and I'll also put the link for that Rock Pals unit. Definitely, you know, preparation kind of seems silly to some people until you really need it. And then you're like, God, why didn't I listen? So get these things now, put them away, make sure you have some food. Biggest complaint I heard a lot was, I don't have any way to cook. Well, don't you have a barbecue grill? Don't you have a propane stove? I mean, these are things that are common to me because this is what I do. But just a simple little one-burner Coleman stove, or one little butane stove would really save somebody's life too. Anyway, folks, I thank you for watching. I won't keep you too much longer here. I will put all my links down below. Check them out. Don't forget to check out our Thrive Life as well if you're looking for food storage. Our Thrive Life link is down below down there. We got some February specials going on. And don't forget to check out our Food for Patriots link. For those of you that don't want to get too heavily into preparation, you just want to have food ready to go in an emergency, they're an awesome choice. They got $70 off on their 4-week kit right now. So check them out. That's preparewithiridium.com. Preparewithiridium.com, because I know sometimes I talk too fast. And I thank you folks for watching. Stay safe, stay warm, and stay prepared.